Hello everyone! Just a couple minutes ago, the new 11th episode of Skibidi Toilet Zombie was released, and it was filled with crazy events and mysteries. This episode finally gave us the answer to the biggest question of all: who the POV really is, and why his role in the show is so much bigger than you thought. So if you're ready to find out why G-Man didn't really want to destroy Jason's zombies and see new enhancements to the infected Titan speaker, then put all your business aside for the next 10 minutes and trust me. Is it true that G-Man will be turned into a zombie at the end of episode 11? What kind of new dancing mutant has entered the fray? Why didn't the Plague Doctor turn the POV into a zombie when he had the perfect opportunity to do so? Get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because it'll be your best 10 minutes of the day. Let's go! First thing first, let me refresh your memory and remind you what we're even doing in these woods. In episode 9, the POV and his company managed to leave the main headquarters, which was overrun by an army of zombies, and on the way the Alliance had control problems, and the ship and its crew had to make an emergency landing at night in the forest. In the process of surveying the area, the guys had several problems. For example, they failed to find common ground with drillmen headed by clockman bouncer and drill woman, and a battle between them began. But the guys had to quickly stop it after their common enemy zombie Jason came on the scene. The mutant almost got to win, but luckily for the POV, the clockman came to his rescue and stopped time and made the freak stand still. Now you're all set and ready, and I'm happy to finally move to episode 11 with you. The blood helps you get back on your feet, and behind him stands the bouncer. And it seems like this strong guy wants to beat up the POV, but Clockman forbids him to do so that he extends his arm while saying, "Don't you dare touch him, he's our ally." The bald toilet starts talking to them, and when the POV turns towards him, we can then assess the situation and look at those who survived the battle in the last episode. TV woman, a big cameraman, a bald head and a toilet with headphones, an ordinary cameraman with a gun, and drill woman with her gun sticking out on the right were the only ones who managed to survive. Honestly, I can't explain how the toilet with headphones managed to stay alive though. Because of his size, he seems to be so damn slow. And all he did was just hide behind trees. And I want to launch a small challenge for you guys. Write your own theories about how this useless one manages to avoid trouble all the time in the comments below, and the funniest theory will be pinned by me in the comments. Okay, this blood asks everyone to hurry up because the action of the time bomb will end very soon. And today is one of the most unfortunate days of all, because in addition to the Jason zombies, a huge army of monsters has also arrived in here. One of them jumps on Drillman's head and unfortunately deprives him of the hand which was holding the plunger. And he also has this red button on him, and very soon you will find out what it is actually for. Suddenly, the Plague Doctor appears right in front of your face, and after teleporting, another zombie jumps on the POV from behind him. To be honest, this scene looks very strange. The bird's beak says nothing and leaves, and there's no clues as to why he is here. He just stood in front of you for a while and then left. But why? Why is he doing this? He is easily able to turn the POV into a zombie, because if you remember the secret scene, then it was enough for the Plague Doctor to touch TV Man as he immediately turned into a monster. Also, the Doctor had several opportunities to infect the POV, but all this time, the freak just looked at him and then got away. Actually, I have a crazy theory that many of you don't believe in. I hope you remember the jetpack from episode 9, and there was an inscription on the back of it that explains the reason why the wounded cameraman had been turning into a zombie for so long. The thing is that the virus is something similar to an artificial intelligence being controlled by the Plague Doctor, and this virus can hide inside the victim for a very long time, and mutation can occur at the most inopportune moment for the Alliance, as it was in episode 8. I think that the POV can be infected too. Just think for yourself. This guy has engaged in close combat with mutants so many times that if one of them managed to bite him on the leg or in some other place on his body, that you and I might not have noticed. This is the only explanation for why the Plague Doctor has not destroyed the POV all this time yet. Perhaps he is watching us and how the mutation occurs and waiting for the right moment to turn us into zombies. I think that very soon the POV will detect the bite and they will try to cure it. But what do you think, guys? Write in the comments your theories about why the freak keeps letting the POV stay unscathed. Well, let's get back to the episode. A bad-smelling zombie jumps on you, but thanks to the plunger, we manage to cope with the monster. The POV then presses that very red button, and the whole plunger gets covered with spikes. Damn it! The same modified weapon was being used by the legendary plunger cameraman from the original series by Boom. Now we have the exact answer to the question of who the POV has been all this time, and Monster Up himself gave me a hint in a personal message about it, and I will share this exclusive leak with you later in the video, so watch it to the end so that you won't miss anything important. Well, the POV has set the mutant's brain straight, and I must say that we have not seen such zombie cameramen before. He does not wear a shirt at all, and also, he does not have a right hand. Dude, you need to get dressed right away. Children are watching us. In any case, the clockman bouncer is tired of playing these games, and with his hammer, he sends zombies on a long flight to heaven. Meanwhile, the POV picks up a jetpack that once belonged to the drillman. Unfortunately, the effect duration of the time bomb has ended now, and Jason Zombie also comes to his senses, so he is going to eat the POV. But at the last moment, no other than G-Man comes to our rescue. First of all, Jimmy is going to destroy the huge army that is chasing us, and the weapon X-18 offers him a choice of several modifications all at once, among which there are claws, a powerful hand, a hand knife, a gun, and a shield. He chooses to turn his hand into a cannon, and with its help, he destroys all the zombies for good. And in fact, it looks pretty strange, but after such a powerful bombardment, there is not a single mutant left on Earth. Just look at it. It's all empty. Also, if you will freeze the video just a second before the explosion, then you will see how at that moment there was no one there, as if the whole army had simply disappeared somewhere. I can't explain where they all went to, and either someone saved them and teleported them a second before the shot, or this is just a common rendering error. Okay, this shot has spent most of the X-18's energy, and G-Man has no choice but to destroy Jason Zombie with his bare hands. Bro saves the POV's life again and hits the bully right in the face using a huge tree. Jimmy is tired of the fact that zombies are constantly getting back on their feet, and with his powerful hands, he sends Jason right to the next world forever! And it's time to tell you a secret now. Pay your attention to how at this moment Jimmy turns his head away. He does this in order not to look at how Skibidi Jason gets destroyed, because he feels kind of sorry for him. So this blood feels that this zombie somewhere deep inside still remains to be his old friend, and he does not want to do this. Monster Up himself wrote it to me and said that Jimmy is able to destroy any zombie in a second with the power of the X-18. He just needs to use his core, and then no mutant will have a chance against him. In the analysis of the 7th episode, I could not understand for a long time why G-Man allowed the zombie scientist to leave so easily, and for which purpose did G-Man beat him with his hands instead of permanently destroying him by firing from the core. As it turned out, G-Man believes that the virus can be defeated and a cure can be found, and for the same reason he did not destroy the Astro Toilet. And as you remember, he grabbed him and then moved him to the laboratory. In fact, the blood can be understood pretty easily, because all these zombies were once his old friends, and to destroy them is a very difficult and tough decision. In episode 11, he simply had no choice but to do this, because if he hadn't done it to Jason, then the entire alliance would have been in serious danger. Let's go back to the episode though. After such a sad drama, it seems that the battle is over now. But suddenly a rocket arrives at G-Man, and such a sneaky shot was made by the infected Titan SPEAKERMAN. New improvements appear from behind his back in a form of 2 additional hands. Oh my god! This is some real madness! I think this is an actual reference. And now this monster really reminds me of Goro from the game called Mortal Kombat, who also had 4 hands with him. The Titan screams like a girl, and another zombie named Michael Jackson comes to his aid. He has a white hat with a clock on his head, as well as yellow demonic eyes, and half of his face is being so mutated and deformed that you can see actual bones in there. And also this hipster has a pierced ear, and red liquid is being sprayed all over his toilet. By the way, you've already seen him before, because for the first time, Skibidi Michael appeared in episode 8 on the roof, where he was quite a normal toilet at the time, but it seems like after the capture of the headquarters, this guy had been captured as well, and then turned into a zombie. Also, note that in episode 8, he wore a black hat, but this time its design has been changed. Perhaps it has something to do with the clockman race or something like that. Okay, the Plague Doctor has come to watch the new battle. Hey you! Maybe you should also get some popcorn to eat while watching this scene? The battle turns out to be pretty unequal, and G-Man gets attacked by two opponents at once. Zombie Jackson deprives our blood of one of his robotic arms, and the Titan then shoots a powerful charge of lead. Jimmy is trying to escape, and to tell you guys honestly, at this moment, I felt very sorry for him. The zombie speakerman picks up the poor guy and starts squeezing him with such a dreadful force that Jimmy can't even move. The Titan grabs his head with his second hand, and the zombie singer gets to work, so he brings a circular saw to his neck, and it seems at this moment that the end is coming for our friend G-Man. Well, it's time to go back to what Monster Up has told me about the POV. I think that you've already guessed it yourself, but as it turned out, all this time we have been watching the events in the series on behalf of Plunger Cameraman. Skibidi Zombie is actually the backstory of who this guy was before picking up his famous weapon, and in episode 11 we just witnessed a legendary event. Namely, we saw at what point in time Plunger Cameraman was born. I also want to share my theory about what we will see in episode 12. I still don't want to believe that the main weapon of the Alliance will be turned into zombies, and I'm sure that G-Man will be able to get out of this difficult situation. And now I will explain how. Please note that Jimmy has claws on the panel with X18 modifications, so I'm sure there's enough energy to create them. And now look where exactly the Titan is holding his hand. He does it right in front of his body, so it's most likely that G-Man will release these claws and injure the zombie, and then try to fight back against Jackson again. I would also like to return to the Plague Doctor. Monster Up himself, the information shared with me, that this cunning dude specifically allowed the Alliance to take away the X18 weapon, as he knew that the guys were using it in order to create a special device allowing G-Man to get super strength. So that the Plague Doctor's plan was to give X18 to the Alliance, and after they will improve G-Man, the zombie army will throw all their forces to capture him and infect him. So if this plan really works, and Jimmy goes over to the side of the Plague Doctor, then I'm afraid the Alliance has no chance of winning this war. And that was all for today. Don't forget to give me your opinion on what's in store for episode 12 in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And that was me, Isotoilet. See ya!